in debt. 45 years can't pay rent. 45 years just for a pension. I'm too old to enjoy and go spend. 45 years working and slaving for rich men with no time for my family and friends. Then I'll wake up and pray that it ends.
Yo, just on that first verse alone, man, like, oh man, it's like I said, in the Richmond, North of Richmond video, I was looking at just like the minimum wage, and like here in Texas, it's been 7.25 since. What's good, everybody? This is Mr. Composition, an MC that writes fiction, back at it with another reaction. Now, this one is for Dax, Oliver Anthony, Richmond, North of Richmond remix official video. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video. So I'm excited. Dax, I've been on to him for the last couple of recent tracks that he's released, and definitely a dope freaking artist, gives me inspiration as an independent artist. And Oliver Anthony, man, I just heard Richmond, North of Richmond, and I got a reaction for that. And man, that was dope. Of the stuff that he was talking about, it was very, very interesting, especially for what a lot of people are having to deal with. Don't let social media fool you. The majority of people are not living no 6-figure plus life, no 7-figure plus life. That's why Oliver Anthony's song really hit a chord compared to like what a lot of what's being out. So Dax recently killed the Black and White track without him and the other dope artists. And so, yeah, let's see what Dax has to say as far as with this. United we stand, divided we fall. Facts, man. Factoroonie.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you.
And it's so funny because I was sitting up there and I seen the Richmond. Before even hearing the song, I was just like, man, I wonder if there's like a hip hop version. I was all like, man, I can, flip the Oliver Anthony track and do like so, and then Dax. Not saying I still can't do it, but Dax may kill it to a point where it's just like, nah, I'm done. I don't even want it.
May it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. Richmond, North of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
This world has changed and I had to accept it.
Yeah.
They ask my political views while I search for their hidden agendas. I don't got an answer, I try to remember the devil divides. Pressure appears from our peers. Those arguments waste our time while helping to push their lies. So fuck political views. I got common sense. I know God made man, and the sun sets on a life where we focus on things that we cannot control and accumulate so much regret. By the time we decide to live, we're practically already dead. So I go to sleep with the thoughts of 45 years living in debt. 45 years can't pay rent. 45 years just for a pension. I'm too old to enjoy and go spend. 45 years working and slaving for rich men with no time for my family and friends. Then I'll wake up and pray that it ends.
Yo, just on that first verse alone, man, like, oh man, it's like I said, in the Richmond, North of Richmond video, I was looking at just like the minimum wage, and like here in Texas, it's been 7.25 since 2009, and they say for a single person living here to be comfortable, you have to make $3,500 a month, and so when you look at minimum wage and then 40 hours, and then you're not even getting that. Even if you were, even the fact that we're trying to push for $15 an hour, and that's still with 40 hours wouldn't be enough, is very interesting. Now again, comfortable, is so, but it's one of those things, listening to his verses and 45 years working and saving for Richmond with no time for my family and friends, man, like it can eat away at your soul. You know, that's why, you know, when the pandemic happened, like prior to the pandemic, you know, in 2017, I left the 9 to 5 just to chase after my dreams. Everything was going, I was going a couple of years without having to get a job. You know what I mean? It wasn't all the perfect and things like that. But for me to be able to step away for 5+ years away from that pattern of thinking and that pattern of doing, and then pandemic happened, and still, you know, I was able to go like another, you know, maybe year, but I did have to get something, then switched over, and now I'm doing like freelance gig work, you know, building up so that way to be able to push, you know, my stuff that I'm doing. But to even have the time for that, like I forgot, like I'll be coming back home and I'll be like, dang, yo, I just want to just disconnect and just have some stuff playing, but you got to push yourself, you know, and find as far as that balance. So yeah, I feel what he's saying, man.
In the new world with an whole soul. The Richmond, north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Descendants of Adam and Eve, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They're taking God out the schools. Our kids don't know what to believe. From 6 to 18, the curriculum fails, and Gen Z gets taught by their phones with forced feeds that get sponsored and paid by companies. That's how they attack us. It starts with the youth. If you lie enough, you'll convince anybody the lie's the truth. So telling these kids they can choose their own gender at ages they can't even tie their own shoes. Drive or drink is crazy. Common sense isn't common unless it pays me. That's the thought process daily. Look at the content. We're creating lies, diluting our brains. I'm done trying to argue online with these people who think that a vote's gonna bring about change. How many presidents does it take to have a life worth living? An actual comfortable wage. No more school shootings. Let's unite these states.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten
Dang, man.
for people like me, and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is.
Damn.
Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Man, yo, Dax, you killed that remix, man. You killed the remix. You was able to get a lot of what's going on, like in the hip hop version, and it's true, man. Like he got on that second verse, man, and what did he say? He said, you know, about the kids, you know, like it's, where is it at? Yeah, here we go. So telling these kids they can choose their own gender. They can't even tie their own shoes, drive or Drake is crazy. It's so true. We're sitting up here and we're having these arguments about stuff that shouldn't even be an argument. The fact that we're sitting up here let us a lot of this stuff, you know, go and be pushed forward for the sake of freedom of speech or different things like that. And I get it. It's a double-edged sword. Not everything, because of freedom of speech, not everything you're going to agree with, you know, with different things. But the fact that is just that, minus a bunch of other stuff, but just that. Why are we sitting up there acting like that isn't a issue? Why are we allowing things like this? And I'm not saying everybody. There are parents and people who are stepping in and being like, no, like, what are you like? No, I don't want this type of books being available to my kids. I don't want this ridiculousness, you know, being accessed at the school. Like y'all are getting these like guests to come in. Like what? And then don't even tell the parents because you know it's gonna be it's wild. It's wild. But yo, Dax, the freaking Richmond North, the Richmond official remix. Oh Anyways, guys, Miss Composition MC that writes fiction back at it with another reaction. Let me know y'all's favorite line in this song. Even in the comments, how did it make you think, or what did it trigger in you? Anyways, make sure to check out my single 6 a.m. in Las Vegas, just released last week, first single of the year. Anyways, guys, Miss Composition MC that writes fiction back at it with another reaction. Peace.
Yo, the black sheep of the black sheeps. Yo, it gets grim when the pen reaps. Silence when the honor one speaks. Gotta work while everyone sleeps. Can't sleep on the work that I do the beats. Being ready for the return to fall. Maybe I should be asleep, but these full moon vibes got me in the deep. Emotional roller coaster strapped in my seat, ready for a trip to find what I seek. Passing